The perfect way to see Ireland is by a road trip and exploring outside of the major cities. Some of my favorite moments in Ireland were the unexpected stops along the Wild Atlantic Way, as my mom and I took a Cookies Campervan from Dublin to the northernmost point of the Wild Atlantic Way to the Cliffs of Moher. While we did not complete the Wild Atlantic Way, it gives us a reason and an excuse to come back. But before we began our journey, we picked up our Cookies Campervan at VW, California, and learned the ins and outs to have a first-rate van life experience in Ireland. If you've been dreaming of a European road trip, Cookies Campervans are the cutest way to do it. Fully equipped, super comfy, and totally road trip ready with heat so you will not freeze when you sleep in Ireland. I rented one for 7 nights and it was such a vibe. Use my code SARAH100 to get €100 off your own adventure. They were honestly super helpful in helping me learn all the ins and outs of the vehicle, including how to use the stove, which I didn't do too much cooking, but it was great to have just in case we did. But before we knew it, it was time to hit the road and head to Malin Head, which is the northernmost point of the Wild Atlantic Way. We got there and it was after dark, so we stopped at the northernmost bar and pub in Ireland before finding a spot to call it a night since we were both really tired. Waking up the next morning, we were in Malin, the village, and decided to head to Malin Head Point. Good morning. I woke up here in Malin. We're almost at the most northerly point in Ireland, on the mainland at least. And this town is so cute. We're gonna go head to Malin Point, which is the actual tip. I see people seem to already be heading that way. Let's go. So we're heading to the most northerly point of Ireland on the mainland. There's some cows. And we're in Malin Head. And Malin Head Point is where you'll be able to see the most northern point on mainland Ireland. We went to the most northerly bar yesterday. We tried to drive there, but it was like some pretty big waves, and in the dark it kind of makes it a little bit scary, at least. So we ended up just doubling back a little bit to stay in a town. And then we got some coffee at Centra and some sausage rolls. But hopefully maybe this like little squall of rain will blow by us and we'll have a little bit of a clear area. But one thing about Malin Head is that it is actually the most windiest part of Ireland, as well as sometimes the most sunniest part of Ireland. So they definitely have a lot of extremes. But I'm excited to see what the tip looks like. Made it to Malin Head. We're going to go to the point now. I'm not gonna lie, it was really windy and wild. I guess that's why they call it the Wild Atlantic Way. But this rugged piece of Ireland's coastline is definitely one that's less visited, but so beautiful. And the landscape was just stunning as we drove a windy road up to Malin Head Point. Alright guys, we made it to the most northerly part and we got some sun, which is pretty nice, but it is so windy. Like, you feel like you could be blown over, and you see how giant the waves are. I feel the wind shaking the car right now. There's this old tower here that you can see, and the tower was actually where they used as a lookout tower during World Wars, and you can see a symbol that says EIRE with the number 80, and that was to show that they were an ally power and that they were not like gonna shoot anybody down. And it also had a symbol, like a number, so that pilots would know where they're located over Ireland. But yeah, it's super beautiful. But the lady from here said that they have so many U-boats that have been sunken off the coast here. They even had over here the Spanish Armada fleet. One of the Spanish Armada sunk off the coast over here. So it is definitely some wild sea conditions. I would definitely not want to be out there, but boats make it out there all the time, I guess. But for now, we're gonna head on out to explore more of Donegal. The population of Malin is about 154, so we did stick out, but the locals were so friendly and stopped along the way.
The house with the red door, the door and the window, was built in one night because the house across the road belonged to his father and mother.
Oh!
And the English was our landlords, so you weren't allowed to go to your house in the one fire. So if you done it at night, they couldn't put you out. Wow. And then they built onto the house and with the rest of the windows to the back of the house, so you didn't have to pay rents for the windows to the front of your house.
Wow! Okay, bye-bye! All right, and before we hit the road, we're gonna grab some coffee at Irish Brew. It's just this like food truck kind of coffee. And then we're gonna go to a national park next. I just got some coffee on the side of the road, Irish Brew, and now we're gonna hit the road again. They also had some pretty amazing scones. Let me show you. I got this cherry white chocolate scone, and my mom got a carrot cake. It looked yummy, so we couldn't say no. But now we're heading to Glenveagh National Park, and who knows what we'll see along the way because we keep just finding beautiful things after beautiful things here in Donegal. The drive from Malin to Glenveagh is about an hour and a half or 65 miles, but you're bound to make some stops along the way. Alright guys, we are at Manor Cunningham View, part of the Wild Atlantic Way. I love that they have these signs everywhere you go, and you just see this really beautiful view. It's also great for bird watching. It says that every year an Arctic tern flies 20,000 kilometers, 12,400 miles to the other end of the planet and back. And the geese fly in from the Arctic and so on from Iceland and Siberia. And they are joined by red-throated and great northern divers. So it's pretty interesting. They all just come here during the winter. Pretty nuts. But now let's continue on the Wild Atlantic Way. Tucked away in the hills of Donegal, Glenveagh National Park is one of those places that just feels magical. Think peaceful lakes, rolling mountains, and an endless fresh air supply. It's a perfect spot to slow down, explore, and soak up Ireland's wild beauty. Right, we're in Glenveagh National Park, just heading to go to the shuttle to see the Glenveagh Castle. The shuttle costs €3 round trip for adults. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see the beautiful castle. I think it's on a lake too, so I'm really excited. And the drive in here was so beautiful, so I'm sure we're going to keep being more stunned. There's also a cafe here as well at the visitor center. Let's go, the shuttle's here. So we entered Glenveagh Castle. Excuse my hair, it's quite windy today. But this is the main entrance hall, and one thing that I think is pretty spectacular is that they actually took periwinkles, different shells from the Donegal area, and it's used in the entrance. And then you see this deer theme throughout the entire castle. And this is one of the main rooms, which to me is quite grand. I love all the design in here. It was a drawing room. All right guys, we're here in front of Glenveagh Castle in Glenveagh National Park. And honestly, I cannot believe the guy lived here by himself till 1983. Inside, you go inside, it has such unique design and definitely wallpaper. I've never seen anything like it. And it's about, I believe, €7 to go take the tour. There's also a tea room here as well. And the views on the lake are just stunning. There's also a heated pool he had built here as well, and it is just beautiful. Now we're gonna head on to see Slieve League. Already we stopped in the castle tea room, which has singe and burn. Like it says coffee people, singe and burn coffee. And I got a mocha and it looks so delicious. And it's so cute. There's these like birds like flying all around, and we're right by the orangery, right over here. And yeah, this is the spot. And all the birds just are fearless flying around in here. But it's perfect to warm up after this like ever-changing like Irish weather. It goes from hailing to sunny and blue skies in a minute, I swear. But now we're gonna head to Slieve League, and who knows, maybe stop somewhere in between. That's how the Wild Atlantic Way goes. I feel like you can never plan to see everything on it, but sometimes you just stop and have the most unexpected like sights. And like honestly, I didn't know about this until I picked up the camper van rentals from Cookies Campers, and they suggested coming here, and I'm so glad they did. And it's entirely, like it's pretty accessible actually. There's a shuttle that takes you here, or you can take the 4-kilometer walk if you have more time. But we're trying to see a lot in a short amount of time, so we took the shuttle. Luckily, there was a shuttle to take us back because it went from sunny to rainy and hailing, and then sunny again. That's just Ireland for you. Next, we continue on our scenic drive through Glenveagh National Park to Slieve League in County Donegal, approximately 80 kilometers away or 50 miles, depending on your route. The journey typically takes an hour and a half by car, but is so scenic it'll fly by. We were getting a little nervous because it looked like the weather was taking a turn for the worse, and we were almost there right before sunset. We got there just in time, and a nice old lady ended up helping me get to the cliffs.
Where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
Florida.
So definitely much
And your mum?
She's from Massachusetts.
Oh. It's very windy today. It's very stormy.
Yeah.
You got your going
Yeah, the seatbelt on.
It could lift the car, you know. We just have to keep up the side.
It was so windy, we didn't think it would be safe to drive the camper van up here, and luckily a nice local helped me get here. Alright guys, we have 1 minute where the wind subsided. We're at Slieve League and this is just super epic. Oh my god, I'm glad I made it here. And the sun's setting, so it's time to leave because we still have a ride to go back to, and luckily we just got this as a send-off.
Hold on tight. I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us. If we just hold on tight, this vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
See?
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's the seawater coming up, coming out on the road.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised like people who aren't local, you know, drive up here by themselves.
Yeah, but sure. Oh no, well, really, no, it's just landowners and farmers come up. Look at.
Here. Let's go.
No, that's only salt water.
Yeah. It just shows you how powerful the ocean is here.
Exactly. Now, what do you see now? Look at Carrigan Head Tower.
Yeah.
There, you got it.
Oh, wait, yeah.
You have the sea out there, holy God. It's
Sorry,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy. That tower was the time of the war.
Okay.
And there was another one in Malin Head.
Oh, yeah.
Ceide.
Oh, I see it, yeah. After safely making it back in one piece, me and my mom took the Cookies Campervan and headed to Donegal town to get some dinner. Okay guys, so I'm calling it a night after going to Slieve League for sunset and having dinner in Donegal at O'Donnell's. It's time to find out where we wake up tomorrow. The next day we woke up in Bundoran, the surf capital of Ireland. Alrighty guys, so we slept in Bundoran near the beach, and Bundoran is like a beachside town, and where I'm at right now is we need to use the bathroom. So we came here to Bowie and Gulls, and it's this like mix of an artist studio for like artists locally, and then upstairs they have a coffee shop with other local goods and a view of the water. This is amazing, check this out. Bundoran totally stole my heart, including this coffee shop. Between the ocean vibes and the fresh sea air, it's a perfect coastal escape. One of my favorite spots, the Rogie Cliff Walk with its dreamy views, the magical ferry bridges, and the cutest little wishing chair along the way. After soaking in the coastal vibes of Bundoran, take a scenic drive just 15 minutes to the stunning Classiebawn castle in Mullaghmore. Perched on a hill overlooking the Atlantic, this beautiful castle offers breathtaking views and a peek into Ireland's rich history. Even though it's not open to the public, it's a perfect spot for a peaceful walk and some epic photos. After taking in the sights of Mullaghmore, it was time to head to Benbulben, one of Ireland's most iconic mountains, with its unique flat-top peak and stunning views of County Sligo. Whether you're hiking at scenic trails or visiting the Yeats resting place at Drumcliff or exploring nearby ancient sites, this spot is full of history and natural beauty. It's a must for anyone visiting Ireland. Alrighty guys, we're here in front of the Devil's Chimney, which is up behind me all the way up there, and it is Ireland's tallest waterfall. It takes about 30 minutes to hike up and 15 minutes to hike down, and it says to wear good shoes, sturdy shoes, because I guess it gets muddy, and it basically only will be like flowing if there's been a lot of rain. It says when it's dry conditions it doesn't flow, but we're heading to Glencar Waterfall, which is about half a mile up the road, and here you can see the waterfall that was written in William B. Yeats' famous poem Stolen Child, and there's also a tea shop over there, so maybe we'll get something to warm up. But this is on the Yeats Trail, and we're on the border of County Sligo and County Leitrim in Ireland. Next we passed into County Leitrim to see the famous Glencar waterfalls. And now we're here at Glencar Waterfall, which is not far from Devil's Chimney, and there's a cute little coffee shop called the Tea Shed. Here there's like some other stairs you can climb for a different viewpoint. But yeah, it's a really easy walk from the roadside. My mom's coming tea right now. So yeah, let's check it out. My hair is a mess because it has been so windy here. Oh, but this is beautiful. After enjoying the waterfalls, it was time to enjoy the Glencar Tea Shed, which opened in May 2015, continuing the rich family tradition that Helen Siberry's family did since the late 1800s, when Helen's great aunts operated a tea house near Glencar Waterfalls. After driving around 20 minutes, we headed into Sligo town for lunch. Behind me you see Sligo Abbey. We're in Sligo, just driving through quickly, but this is definitely a cute town. I've been here once before, and I stayed for the weekend, and they have some nice fun pubs with live music. Alrighty guys, I'm here at Miss Susie in Sligo, having some Asian food now. They have a mixture of Japanese and Korean here, and I got a bento box with came with the complimentary miso soup, and it tastes delicious. But I'm really excited. I got this like teriyaki chicken and mushroom bento box, and it comes with some sushi as well. And we're located right in the city center of Sligo, and then we're gonna head on off to the Wild Atlantic Way. And yeah, just wanted a sit-down meal and try something a little bit different. After a delicious lunch, it was time to hit the road again to head to Ballina, where we went to Bellick Castle. Bellick Castle was a hidden gem. It is a fairy tale-like 19th century castle surrounded by lush woodlands, and it's rich in history. You can explore its medieval-style museum, dine in its award-winning restaurant, or even stay overnight for the full castle experience. While one day I hope to stay in a castle like this, I hit the road again because we were heading to stay somewhere very unique, located 30 minutes away near Downpatrick Head. One thing I recommend is always trying to go outside your comfort zone, and that's exactly what me and my mom did when we headed to Ceidi Glamping. The waves were definitely slamming against the coastline, and we had a little bit of a bumpy road, but when we arrived to our stay, we knew the journey was worth it. Ceidi Glamping is such a dreamy spot along the Wild Atlantic Way. Think cozy pots with ocean views right near Downpatrick Head with a stellar view. Each one comes with everything you need, from a kitchenette to your own bathroom, so you can enjoy all the adventures without sacrificing comfort. After enjoying the views and outside air, we headed inside to watch some TV and have dinner. Good morning. I just woke up and remembered sunrise was about to happen. Check this out. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. We're at Downpatrick Head, and you can see it right here. Alrighty guys, just packing up. I had an amazing stay here, just a short but sweet one, at Ceidi Glamping. As you can see, they have a few different pods here, and they have one of the best views of Downpatrick over here, which is a sea stack. The waves have been crazy in the wind as well. Today's a little bit better, but it's still a little bit stormy. But that is Ireland. You can have 4 seasons in one day, they say. Road, we saw sheep and they were so cute, and there's so many babies right now. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do the hike to Downpatrick. I tried last night and there was so much wind, so many waves. But yeah, Downpatrick Head is basically where they say that St. Patrick expelled all the snakes out of Ireland. But also there is a real story, another story, the true story, that there was a land bridge there at one point, and then like in 1393, I think, or something, they had people living out there, and they got stuck out there when after a big storm, the land collapsed. Over there, you can find, like, there's ruins actually on top of Downpatrick Head, and there's also some Neolithic tombs, they say, that might be out there. But yeah, there's also Ceidi Fields, which we might see, and that is the oldest Neolithic site, so we might go check that out. It's only like 4 kilometers away. And then we're gonna be heading south to Westport, Kylemore Abbey possibly, and then to Galway. I was gonna show you inside. I did like some video before we checked in, but we're about to leave, but I wanted to show you quickly the glamping pod. Here we have like here we have a picnic bench, and then you come inside after you look at the amazing view. There is a couch here that you can watch TV. So I've been watching some YouTube and Netflix last night, and it was amazing. And there's a table, so after you cook, this morning I had some eggs. Last night I made a sandwich, and I ate here and watched some of my morning YouTube videos that I like to watch. And then this is the room. It's a double bed, and it's very comfortable. I slept very well last night. And then we have the bathroom. I took a shower. They had a lot of, like, the hot water was really good, and yeah, it actually warmed up the bathroom. In the bathroom it was a little bit cool, but in the rooms it was extremely, like, it was warm, so you didn't feel cold at all. And that is the glamping pod, and it has everything you need, honestly, for me at least. There's pots, pans, plates, cutlery, and there is a stove top here too, so you could do some cooking, and a hot water maker for coffee and tea. He does, the owner, provide coffee and tea, and there's a toaster, microwave, and yeah, they have like everything you need, and it is super comfortable as well. For now, we're gonna head on out though. This is a nice day in North County Mayo, and this place is so beautiful. And the drive here was very amazing. It's definitely a quieter part, at least of the Wild Atlantic Way, from what I usually see people go to. And I definitely want to come back here and explore more. There's so much to see. And I just basically skimmed off the top of seeing some things like Ballina and Ballycastle. Before leaving, we realized we didn't check the common area. So at Ceidi Glamping, they have a common area, and they have a barbecue, so you can barbecue actually in a weather protected building, and then they have a hangout area with couches and a TV. So if you want to gather and hang out outside of your room, here is another option. But for now, we gotta get going and explore more of Ireland. Our next stop was only a short ride away. Alrighty guys, right now we're here at Ceidi Fields, which is one of the oldest Neolithic sites in the world. It is the oldest known agricultural field kind of system that they have found, and this is over 6,000 years old. And look at the view from here. You have the Ceidi Cliffs in the background, as well as Downpatrick Head. So now we're heading to go check it out. They also have a really cool visitor center that they just updated, so we're gonna check that out right now and see what we can see at Ceidi Fields. Guys, so we're in the Ceidi Fields Visitor Center. It costs €5 to enter, €4 for senior citizens, or €5 for adults. And the Ceidi Fields were actually discovered underneath a bog while Patrick Caulfield was out here. He was a school teacher and he was looking through his fields and found stones. And little did he know in the 1930s how significant that find would be. And now we're at one of the largest Neolithic sites in the world and one of the oldest in terms of the agricultural systems that they found here. The exhibits inside were definitely able to help you understand what you were actually looking at when you go outside. But my favorite part was walking on the outside for the views. So this is such a cool visitor center. You can see they built this pyramid sticking out of the ground. Oh, and now we're gonna go outside. Ceide Fields is so significant. It is older than Stonehenge. It is older than Newgrange or the pyramids of Egypt. It's the oldest known system of fields in the world here. And it's pretty special. We got to visit it for €5. If it was a little bit warmer, I had to walk around more. There's a whole kilometer you can go around and see some of the things they've uncovered underneath the bog. But a lot of it isn't uncovered, and that's because they're able to use these poles to kind of map out where things have been. They have found megalithic rocks basically that symbolize tombs and places where people were buried. And yeah, it's just a very interesting site. Definitely a beautiful view as well. And the visitor center that they just redid and reopened this year in 2024 is definitely very informative. And you get such a good view of the coastline here. Sometimes you can even see Slieve League across the way over in Donegal. But for now, we're gonna head on out and go find our next spot in Ireland to explore along the wild Atlantic Way. The next stop on our list was Westport, Ireland in County Mayo. It was about an hour and 15 minutes away, but of course, we were probably gonna make a stop. Wild Nephin Ballycroy National Park is one of 6 national parks in Ireland that spans over 15,000 hectares of unspoiled wilderness, including one of the largest expanses of Atlantic blanket bog in Europe. There's a visitor center here as well as trails where you can learn all about the rich biodiversity of the area. If you love looking at stars, then Wild Nephin National Park is the park for you since it's Ireland's first international dark sky park. We are in Wild Nephin National Park, or Ballycroy. This place is known for the boglands here with 150 square kilometers of boglands. It is in County Mayo and it's close to Achill Island as well as Westport, where we're driving to next. While I don't have a ton of time to explore here, they're also known for their dark skies because there really isn't much light around. As you can see, there's not any cities or huge populations here, but they do have a lot of wildlife that you can come here and enjoy. Finally, we were making it to the Wild Atlantic Way's cute town of Westport, a charming town known for its colorful streets, stone bridges, and a vibrant atmosphere. Recently, it served as a picturesque backdrop for Netflix's romantic comedy Irish Wish, starring Lindsay Lohan. Alright guys, now we're in Westport. This town is super cute. It's a heritage town here in Ireland, and we're going to grab some food to go and head on to Kylemore Abbey, which is another hour away from here. But this place is so cute. Alright guys, we just ate at Ceide Brew Cafe. I got this croque monsieur, which was so good, and we were gonna go next door, but I was super busy. But this is literally such an amazing spot. It's right by the clock here, and Westport is so beautiful. As you can see, all these like main streets shoot off from this one area, the Diamond. I'm now gonna go get a coffee at This Must Be the Place. I wanted to eat there at first, but it was just so packed. So I'm glad I got to go to Ceide Brew Cafe because it was a surprise and it was a good one too. While I wish I had more time to explore Westport, it was time to hit the road because we were an hour away from Kylemore Abbey and had to get there before it closed at 6. We were trying to fit so much in and pass by some beautiful scenery, including a fjord that I didn't even realize Ireland had fjords. but it was a beautiful drive nonetheless. And before you knew it, we made it to Kylemore Abbey. Alright guys, we're inside the Kylemore Abbey, where Benedictine nuns stay actually. They seem to make the Abbey though a museum downstairs where you can learn about how it turned from a privately owned house by Mitchell Henry, built in 1867, to an abbey as it is today. They still do masses here. They have a big celebration for Holy Week. And you can come here, try the nuns' chocolate. They have a coffee shop. We're literally doing this on speed because they're closing soon, but there is actually so much to do here. But it is freezing as well. There's a church on site as well that Mitchell Henry built for himself and his family. Kylemore Abbey was built in the 19th century as a private mansion by Mitchell Henry, which was later converted into a Benedictine monastery in 1920 and has since become a renowned historical and architectural landmark in County Galway, Ireland. There's honestly so much to see, and I only had about an hour and a half to try seeing as much as I could, but I definitely suggest you take longer because there's such a rich history here and there's so much on this property. So we're just doing the lake walk now. We just went into Kylemore Abbey and it was beautiful. The nuns used to live there. Now they're living off site, and then they're building a new abbey for the nuns. They are even renting out part of the building here for University of Notre Dame that have a 30-year lease for their global study abroad program for their students, which I thought is pretty cool. And look how beautiful this is to study here. But yeah, now we're heading to go see the church, which was built on site by Mitchell Henry, the original owner and builder of the house. But this is definitely really beautiful. You can see there's different waterfall features and more here on the property, and you can see birds, and they have a garden as well. But I don't think we'll have time because they close at 6, but we'll see what we can see. As you can see behind me, here's the Gothic church. They have some scaffolding as they're doing some renovations, but inside I heard it's beautiful, so let's go and check it out. There's over 1,000 acres. We just did a quick run through of just the Abbey and the church. I wish I had more time to explore the walled gardens and everything, but they close at 6 and it is freezing cold. It's a hit or miss with the weather when you come here in late March, but you know, that's how it rolls. So for now, we're gonna head on to Galway. After about an hour and 10 minutes, we ended up in Galway past sunset in time for dinner. Good evening. We came to the Dolly Bar here in Galway and I'm really excited for dinner. We are having some traditional Irish stew and I got the pot roast, which looks delicious, and we're right off of the main street, not on the main street, but it's definitely a cool place. They have a lot of nice decorations. It's kind of like a bit of a modern twist on the Irish pub. There's an Irish pub downstairs, but upstairs you can have a more nicer meal and hear yourself speak. But for now I'm gonna eat because I'm hungry. We had a long day exploring County Mayo as well as Galway. After trying some Irish classics and definitely enjoying the Guinness stew, we headed to go experience the live music that Galway is known for. After an eventful night, it was time for an early morning to go explore the Cliffs of Moher in Galway. Alright guys, so we've been camping in Cookies Campervans. Honestly, I've been having a lot of fun, but yeah, I'm so tired. We've done over 1,000 kilometers of driving to get to Galway. Now we have one more thing, and we're going to see some of Galway, and then we're going to maybe check out the Cliffs of Moher, but the weather isn't ideal. We're going to grind coffee right over here. Grind coffee and grabbing some coffee and some food probably. I'm cold, so I'm wearing something comfy today. But yeah, last night I slept pretty good. And yeah, we've been just going. And we leave tomorrow. I can't believe that. But for now, let's go get some coffee. Good morning. I'm starting my day here at Grind. They have a nice coffee shop here, but also it seems like they do brunch. They have like a full menu, but we decided just to get a scone and a Danish to begin our day. Honestly, I've been eating a lot of heavy things since being in Ireland, and it's nice to have lighter breakfast. But for now, we're just starting off here to warm up because it is cold outside and rainy. But that is Ireland for you. So we just walked down to Galway Bay, and here you can find the Galway City Museum, which is actually a free museum. It's closed on Monday, so we can't go inside. Then you have Nemo's. Nemo's is a really famous restaurant. You can see by all their plaques on the wall. Definitely worth a try. And then you come to the Spanish Gate. And as you can see, they have a flood barrier. It says by 2150, like the sea levels are rising. And so they do have, I guess, some floods, and they have these here now to protect from that. But now we're going to continue on. And now, after the Spanish Arch, we head to the Latin quarter of Galway. And the first thing you see is the Blake's Castle, which was built in the 16th century, and this was built as a tower house for the Blake family. You walk up Kerwin's Lane, and you'll find so many different bars, restaurants, stores. Yesterday we went to the K for live music. We went to the Del Bar for food, and that was really good. I got the Guinness stew, or the Irish stew, not Guinness stew. And yeah, up and down you see like flags and really cute streets and lanes. But yeah, a lot is closed early and a lot is closed on a Monday. But we're gonna see what we can see in Galway since this is our only day here. Alrighty guys, we're in Coffee and Press, and this place is super cool. They have a great location off one of the main roads here. And the owner of the coffee shop actually does as another business, a print shop. And here you can see a lot of the artists and print works that he works with. And it's even on their coffee bags as well. So that's pretty cool. And they have really cool books to look or buy. We're here in the Church of St. Nicholas, and it was built in 1320 and is the oldest continuous running church in Ireland. It's a medieval church, and it's definitely really unique. It's beautiful from the outside as well, and it opens at 10 a.m. usually, and you can come in here and check out. They have a lot of different things for you to read, to learn about the history of the church as well. After exploring in the cold, it was time to warm up with some fish and chips from McDonald's. This place is an institution. You can see from the many awards that are on the wall as well as newspaper articles. Alright guys, we're here at McDonald's and I got the fish and chips with mushy peas. Everything's actually a pretty good price here for being the main street of Galway. And we also got some onion rings as well. Next, we headed to our 1.5 hour drive from Galway to the Cliffs of Moher, offering stunning views of the Irish countryside. Along the way, you can stop at the charming village of Donegal, famous for its traditional music and pubs, or explore the Bundoran, a unique limestone landscape full of ancient tombs and rare flora. Make sure to take in the scenic coastal roads as you approach the Cliffs of Moher, where breathtaking views of the Atlantic Ocean dramatic cliffs await. And we made it to one of our last stops on my trip to Dublin with my mom. We made it to the Cliffs of Moher. We've been here before, and it looks like the sun's trying to peek through, but right now it's a little bit rainy, drizzling, and overcast, but it's pretty cool to see all the birds flying and back from their winter, wherever they journeyed from. And yeah, now it's pretty cold, but it's less windy than it's been in some places, and nice. You can walk all the way out there to Hag's Head, and they say it's kind of strenuous and it's slippery, and there's no guardrails like this there, so if you want to adventure a little bit more, but just because of the weather, I don't think I'm going to hike out all the way out there. And this is one of our last stops, if not the last stop, before we head back to Dublin tonight, because we have to fly tomorrow back to Orlando, Florida. But this has been an amazing trip to Ireland and going all over Coastal Causeway as well as the Wild Atlantic Way, and ending our journey here. It's pretty special. Admission to the Cliffs of Moher experience is €8 for adults, €6 for seniors and students, and free for children under 12. The fee grants access to the visitor center, which features an interactive exhibit, 2 cafes, restrooms, and a gift shop, all designed to enhance your experience of the iconic cliffs. Since we have both been here before, we didn't spend long because we had to drive 3 hours back to Dublin and even make a pit stop at the Barack Obama Plaza gas station before going to the Clayton Hotel to have an early morning for our flight back to Orlando. Time is coming to an end in Ireland. It was an epic 11-day road trip journey, as well as time here for St. Patrick's Day. Now we're heading back to Orlando, direct flight with Aer Lingus to Orlando, Florida from Dublin. It's pretty interesting. They actually named Aer Lingus all their flights after saints. I did not know that. And what saint are we on now? Saint McDara. Yeah, but for now, if this helped you, please let me know and subscribe and like this video so more people can find it. Thanks. All in all, this was an epic trip to take with my mom and a road trip I will always remember. I cannot wait to go back one day to finish the Wild Atlantic Way, hopefully with Cookies Campers as well. Be sure to use code SARAH100 if you look to rent a Cookies Camper van so you save money and enjoy an epic adventure.